and peace. Enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. குருவழியாய குணங்களில் நின்று கருவழியாய கணக்கை அறுக்க வருமடி வளமாக அறிவு அறிந்து அன்பு வழி அருளும் குருவே அடிபணிக்கின்றேன். குரு வாழ்க, குருவே துணை. Good morning to every one of you. Nice to see you, all of you, after a short break. It doesn't matter how high you reached in your professional work, or how much money we have gathered, or how much attention we have received from the world. It is the amount of positive vibration you have radiated in your life that matters. This is what one great scholar, Mr. Amit Ray, had said about it. Spiritual growth keep increasing our positive vibration. Not only positive vibration, the moment we start increasing our positive vibration, whatever we think, whatever we want in our life, it is provided to us. That is the real meaning of prosperity. So we have ability to live a fulfilled life or a blissful life. Whatever we think, it will happen it, and what is possible only we will think it. So it is a blissful living that is also possible. That is the result of spirituality. So spiritual growth means we increase our positive vibration, thus we start towards blissful living. We all are on different steps of our spiritual journey. Another scholar had said, the path of spiritual growth is a path of lifelong learning. Means you have to learn throughout our life. That is what the spiritual path means, according to that great scholar. Now, how to make our spiritual progress so fast, so quick? How can we make ourselves as a spiritual champion in a shorter duration? That is the topic for today's discussion. So what are the things we are going to discuss it? Number one, what is spirituality? Why spiritual growth is required for all of us? If there is no spiritual growth, what will happen? And what are the types of spiritual growth? There are two types of spiritual growth: vertical growth, horizontal growth. So what are those spiritual growth types? What Maharishi had said about that two different types of spiritual growth, and how can we make it so fast to achieve the end result of spirituality? That is what we are going to discuss it. The first point, why it is required for all of us. We all want to enjoy our life. We all want to live with prosperity. We want money, materials, name and fame, power. We want to enjoy our life, and also we want good people surrounding us. So all these things are required to make our journey more comfortable, more sweet. So we all need that. And there are many people, we are seeing it, they have earned maybe 10,000 crores worth of wealth. Means financially they are becoming rich and rich. We all want to make money, not only for my life, even for 5 generations. People are aiming to earn wealth, so that our generations are so happy to live their life. Now, are they living peacefully? Are they living happily? Are they living with the fulfillment? If they go to bed within 60 seconds, are they able to sleep? If not, there is a problem, right? So Maharishi says, anybody can have progress in this materialistic world in terms of money, power, enjoyment, people, all that, name and fame and things like that. But according to the degree of spiritual growth only, that material prosperity can give fulfillment to that person. So that means I might have succeeded 80% in my professionalism or wealth earning. But if my spiritual progress is only 10%, that means only up to that 10%, I will have fulfillment and I will have some worries or some shortage in my life, which I will not be able to get it through money, which we all know it, right? Even sleep, we can't buy through money. So, number one, we all want to live in this world with all the comfort materials and things like that. But those material things, even villain in a movie, he achieves what he wanted to achieve, but at the end, what happens to him? So we all want to live with prosperity, but at the same time, without compromising anything, any aspects of our life. So if that is required, spiritual growth is must. So without spiritual growth, I can't, even if I have 1,000 crores of money, I will not be able to enjoy my life. This is number one point. It is like you see a big tree where the tree is so big vertically, horizontally, and it produces its whatever fruits, number of fruits it's producing it, and how the tree is so prosperous, that depends on how much deep it went inside the sand, inside the land, right? The roots, if the root has gone only up to we have this drumstick tree at the back of our garden, and at the backside we have made it, but bottom it cannot go so deep, so it went up to twice my height. That's it. After that, it is not growing. So the material prosperity in this materialistic world depends on how far you grow inward. That is called a spiritual growth. So number one reason, spiritual growth decides the material, the true meaning of material prosperity. This is the number one point. And the second point, as we started in the starting, we said the positive vibration. The more I have a positive vibration, I get the real prosperity. I don't need to struggle too much. Whatever I need a good doctor to diagnose my problem. I will get a good doctor. That is the true meaning of prosperity. So when I generate a positive vibration, I get whatever resources, whatever things I need for my duty, to perform my duty, or whatever desire I have, whatever ambition I have, and the universe provides it. That is because of the spiritual growth. This is a second reason. Third reason, ultimate result of spirituality is blissful living. The outside situation doesn't affect me at all, and I am living always in a blissful situation, ecstasy situation, irrespective of outside situation. Whatever I think it is happening and what is possible I think it, that is called blissful living. So that is also that is the ultimate goal of spirituality. So spiritual growth is definitely required. Fourth one, not only I have positive vibration to achieve what I want in my life, really I have to spread my positive light to others. Maharishi has constructed temple of consciousness. That temple spreads the real knowledge to empower our consciousness, so that our fractional consciousness, limited consciousness, will become equal one with the total consciousness or cosmic consciousness. That is ultimate result of spirituality. So when I have to empower myself, now if I grow spiritually, then every individual can act like a temple of consciousness. We don't need to go to Aliyar. If I empower my consciousness, if I progress in spirituality, I can be like a temple of consciousness. That means I can shed light on others, right? So because we have a soul inside, and that soul has a divinity, so the divine light will start spreading to outside environment. So we ourselves can act as a temple of consciousness. That's another benefit of spiritual growth. And the fifth one, after a certain age, we live for our kids. The best asset what we can give to our kids is not education, not wealth, pure genetic center. So that purity of my genetic center decides or depends on how much progress I made in my spirituality. So the spiritual growth, percentage spiritual growth decides the purity of my genetic center. So because of all these reasons, I have to have spiritual growth day by day, year by year. So that is very, very important. Now, so spiritual growth is must, and our aim is how to make it fast. So before that, let's again recap ourselves. What is exactly spirituality? Very simple explanation. Spirituality is not same as what we do in devotion, bhakti yoga, religion. Little bit different. So the spirituality means we have seen gold ornaments like bangles, necklace, chain, ring. All those are different ornaments, but all are made of gold. Similarly, we see millions and millions of living organisms, non-living organisms, but all are not only made of divinity, it is also functioning because of divinity. If we can understand that and if we can realize that, that is a spirituality. So spirituality, what is spirituality? Spirituality is nothing but realize the presence of spirit. They realize the presence of divinity in the spirit, not only in me, in everyone, everywhere, in everything. That's all. So my jivatma, my soul is a part of Paramatma. My soul or my body, actually my soul is part of one portion of big the divinity. So that is called spirituality. Now, how can I have fast spiritual growth? So before that, we let us also understand what is spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is the process of growing in my inner travel to become one with the divinity. Divinity is there everywhere. It is also inside me. So how far I travel inwards to become one with the divinity which is there within me, right? So spiritual growth is nothing but how fast I grow in my inner travel to become one with a divinity. So how good, how fast I am able to realize the presence of divinity in me and others. That is called spiritual growth. And there are two types of spiritual growth, which we will discuss it after some time. Now, how to make it so fast, the spiritual growth. And Maharishi's techniques are very, very powerful, and it is the fastest method. To make spiritual progress, we have Bhakti Yoga, we have Raja Yoga, we have Jnana Yoga, and we have Karma Yoga. All four yogas helps us to grow spiritually, right? And Maharishi combines all these four yogas in his simplified Kundalini Yoga system. So we all know that all are part and parcel of our system, sky system. And if he explains like this, very simple. This is our mind. We all are living because of one single driver, which is mind in me. The mind decides whether I have to take the phone or not, whether I have to eat one more chapati or not, whether I have to go to bed now or I have to swipe the WhatsApp in my mobile. Every decision, my mind is functioning. If my mind is not functioning, I am either in coma stage or in a sleep state, right? So mind. So with the mind, I interact with the outside world. And the other end of the mind is the divinity. And spiritual growth is how fast I am traveling inside from this end where it is interacting with the outside world, how fast I travel here to reach the other end of the mind where divinity is there. That's all. So this mind can be, functioning in three different levels: conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind. So if I can reach my superconscious mind so fast, my spiritual growth is so fast. Not only during meditation, outside meditation as well, right? So the spiritual journey, to make it fast, Bhakti Yoga, what they say, here is a God, but the God has no form. So to think about that divinity, they created a form which is called, we know, idol or statue and all that. So like India, you have an Indian flag. The moment you see an Indian flag, you remember India, you connect it to India. Similarly, to connect it to the invisible divinity, like a Wi-Fi, you have you are worshipping something. So that's a part of that word, bhakti yoga. Karma yoga is nothing but whatever action we do, think as if we are serving the God. So we see the divinity in everyone. That is called karma yoga. Raja yoga is through meditation, and jnana yoga is by just by understanding the knowledge that, hey, everything is divinity. That's it. But what Maharishi has given a Raja yoga practice, a simple practice for mind. Instead of jumping the mind to the divinity like bhakti yoga, in between he identified a step which is life force. The life force is functioning in my body because of the divinity in me, the soul within me. The moment the life force is functioning in a living organism, mind is there, right? So he uses an intermediate step so that in meditation, the mind stops looking outward, starts the journey inward by observing the movement of Akash particle at Agna, one of the chakra. Then we go to Turiyam, right? So here is a feeling, and that feeling we rise it to the Turiyam, and then we expand it further. And after expansion, we go to the other end of the mind, which is the absolute space, which is there in 100% absolute space is there beyond the universe. So we go there, and then we get dissolved there, and we get frozen there. So this is how the meditation is designed. So the fastest spiritual growth, to make the inner journey fast, and step one, observe the movement of Akash particle at Agna. Then you become one with the Akash particle at Turiyam. Then you both together, you go out of the body to the absolute space. So what other fastest method is possible to make our spiritual growth faster than that? So really that helps us a lot to grow faster. But all that, we, people have been doing this meditation for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Really, have we made the spiritual progress or not? It is a question mark, because this meditation practice is given us, uh, you know, always from morning to night, our mind is thinking in terms of the earth, in terms of the materialistic things, in terms of my physical body needs, what I need, which food I need, where to work, how can I make money, all those, whether I eat, whether I earn money, whether I sleep it, whether I have relationship, all that is to satisfy my body. So the body needs takes the top priority for my mind. Now, transcendental meditation. Our meditation is transcendental meditation. You know the word transcendence. Transcendence means ability to rise above my body consciousness, above my circumstances, above the human conditions, expand beyond my body needs, beyond what I see here, then only we can reach the divinity. So this transcendental meditation is nothing but the inner travel of our mind from one end to the other end of divinity. So that when we reach the other end, the human consciousness, the limited consciousness or fractional consciousness will be empowered to match with the total consciousness or divine consciousness or cosmic consciousness. That is the ultimate goal of spirituality. So in this meditation method, Maharishi has given two things. When I meditate, when I observe the Akash particle at Agna or Turiyam or anywhere, my mind comes to a very subtle level, because the Akash particle is the smallest in size, lightest in weight. When I practice it to observe it, my mind frequency comes down. This first one, mind gets calmer and calmer and calmer. So very, 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 very subtle level, I am getting it. This is the first benefit I should have it. So whoever has been meditating, whether am I making a spiritual progress or not, that depends on how subtle my mind can be when things go wrong outside me. Second point, this meditation also helps us to go beyond the material consciousness, to go beyond my body consciousness to the universal field and then to the divinity. So, the expansion of mind, the ability to expand my mind beyond my body consciousness, that is also a practice. We get it when we do this meditation, Panchaputa Navagraha meditation, Turyadita meditation, divine meditation. All those are helping us to expand our mind. Higher the expansion capability I have, higher is the spiritual growth I get it. Lower is the mind frequency where I can reduce and reduce and reduce. Higher is the spiritual growth I make it. I have it. So these two practices will make my spiritual growth faster and faster. This meditation we need to do every day twice. Now, if I do the meditation regularly for 10 years, 15 years, now am I really, have I progressed spiritually really faster? Is this, first of all, did I make a spiritual progress or not? Here is a challenge. Here is not only the challenge, here is where we get struck. We have been meditating for 20 years, 15 years, 30 years, but absolutely maybe only 10% spiritual growth or 20% spiritual growth possibility is there, because we are seeing it, right? And particularly the corona time, the number of how tough it was to face the challenges during the corona time between the sky members and non-sky members and the success rate. It was a surprise to me to find out the sky members took long time to come out of it. Non-sky practitioners, really, they just believed what we said and they followed it. They could get the progress much faster, in fact. So the spiritual progress is not just making my inner journey faster. There is something more to it. That is what we are going to discuss now. There are two types of spiritual growth. One is a vertical growth, the other is a horizontal growth. The tree can go higher and higher, or the tree can expand horizontally as well. Similarly, the spiritual growth can be vertical as well as can be horizontal. Now, what is this vertical growth and what is this horizontal growth? What Maharishi had said about this vertical growth and the spiritual growth, he has given this in a poem, right? And I will explain that as well now. First, let's understand what is the vertical spiritual growth. In Turiyatit meditation, what we do, first of all, the ultimate end of spirituality is to become one with the divinity, to change from material consciousness to the divine consciousness. And Maharishi used in between one step, material consciousness to spiritual consciousness, where I feel the presence of spirit in me at Agna. The moment I start getting spiritual consciousness, I move from spiritual consciousness to the divine consciousness, which is Turiyatit meditation. The spiritual consciousness, I get it. I grow faster and faster in spiritual consciousness at Agna, at Turiyam. And the divine consciousness is at Turiyatit meditation. This is how our meditation is designed. Now, the vertical growth, vertical spiritual growth, how close you are with the divinity. That's it. Vertical growth means how fast, how good I am growing spiritually in terms of thinking process beyond my body level. Going up, going up, going up. Now I think about the entire universe. Now I don't have any problem when my wife is preparing a coffee like a hot water. My consciousness at the universal level, right? More expansion, vertical. And after the universal field, I become one with the divinity. I dissolve in absolute space. And not only I dissolve, I get frozen there. This is called vertical growth. The more we grow vertically, I am in a blissful situation, right? I enjoy the bliss all the time. Unfortunately, many of the sky practitioners have this vertical growth more than 60% or 70%. Really, they say that, oh my God, I forgot what happened in my meditation in Turiya Atitam. I don't know. I was thoughtless. Nothing, I don't know 1 hour passed or not. So they really have that level. But the horizontal growth is the problem. It's only 10%, 20%, or 30%, or 50%, or 60%, which we can easily see from our Purmesalidan on patients only group, right? The performances, right? So the vertical growth, I happen to see, normally I don't switch on TV, but some 8 years or 9 years back, somehow I switched on it. I don't know why. When I switched on it, there was a program. That program is about in one of the TV channel, Tamil channel. They were the channel, the TV channel. I don't know whether they are against this spirituality. I don't know, but they are trying to really prove, or they are trying to disprove whether this self-realized people really are they self-realized or not. The ultimate goal of self spirituality is realizing the presence of divinity in me, in everyone, right? And in Tamil Nadu, there are many hills, mountains, right? And in many of that mountain areas, still there are self-realized people living there. So people go there to see whether we can see them or not. When people are crowded, those guys, they don't appear. But there are, so this TV channel wanted to meet one of the guy, and are they really self-realized? Are they having really any power? Are they really one with the divine, so that whatever they think it is possible to happen it? This is what they wanted to prove it, or they wanted to check it. No, they don't want to prove it. They want to check whether it is true or not. Right? These self-realized people, I mean the vertical growth. I have not discussed the horizontal growth, vertical growth. These guys living in a blissful situation. These people, you know what they have? They have just one piece of cloth to cover their genitals. That's it. Not even to full waist towel. One lengthy piece of cloth to cover the hidden parts. That's it. And they sleep on the rock. They don't have anything else. They don't have a place to live. They don't have any clothes to change. Nothing. Whatever comes there, they eat it. They live there. They sleep there. And I have seen the TV people when they went and visited a couple of people, and there are some people I have seen it, they smoke as well. Now, one of the guy, they convinced them to say that you have to prove to the audience that you are really self-realized. You can do something which we can't do it. That person has agreed also. And what was these guys have suggested that you people are equal to God. Sitting here in this mountain, can you tell what is happening in one of the place, which we will tell you which house it is or who it is? He said, no problem. So what do you need? Just give me the photograph of the person. That's all. You don't need to tell anything. Whether that person anywhere, I have no problem. This is what that saint had told. Okay. So they have given a photograph of what they did. Okay. They set up a date, they set up a time, and they identified one house, which is around, 400, 500 kilometers from that particular mountain, but in Tamil Nadu. And they set up a full camera there at that house. And that one lady, the housewife who is living in that house, that lady photograph, they brought it and gave to that saint. We want to know from you, if you are really a self-realized, you tell us what she is doing now. Where is she? What color dress she is wearing? Something like that. Okay. And to us, to viewers, the screen is divided into split. So one part of the screen is showing this guy. The other part, they are displaying to us the lady, the photograph, the real house where she is there. Okay. This fellow, he just saw the photograph for few minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay. And he just saw it. Then he just fell down. He became unconscious. Okay. And a couple of minutes, he was unconscious, maybe for a minute. And then he got up. And then he started telling so many things. And to my surprise, everything was good. See, now the lady is sitting in a black color sofa. Of course, we are seeing it. She is sitting in the sofa. See, now she's got up and she's getting up. And see, now she's going to switch on the TV and she is searching the remote. And she is, in fact, searching the remote. She was not instructed anything. It's happening live. And so, and where the house is, which rooms he is in, what color paint that house has it, and in front of the house, which all that as if this fellow is seeing a CCTV and telling it. This is vertical growth. And now now the problem for us, as I said, 60% of, sorry, many sky practitioners have 60%, 50% vertical growth. Of course, they can't do all this extra sensory perception, very difficult, but at least they become one with the divinity, at least during meditation, right? But the problem is that vertical growth is also, we are not able to see the manifestation of vertical growth with public, unlike that saint. Only one reason: the saint has no belonging. The saint, absolutely, he has no desire, no intention to even to live. He is, no desire at all. Whatever there, he just enjoying it blissfully there. Now, whereas we people, we are married, we have wife, kids, and so many responsibilities to take care of our body, to take care of our dependent, so many things are there. Because of that, the vertical growth, what we get from meditation, the practices, we are not able to see even 10% of what that saint had demonstrated to us lively, because the horizontal growth is a problem. What is the horizontal growth? The horizontal spiritual growth is the outward spiritual growth. Vertical spiritual growth is the inward spiritual growth. How fast I travel towards the divinity. The horizontal spiritual growth is the outward spiritual growth, external spiritual growth, right? Now, what is this horizontal spiritual growth? It is nothing but an awareness of oneness in my relationships, in whoever people I am associated with. Am I in awareness that he is also part of divine and he is behaving only because of the divine in him? That is the horizontal growth. If my wife is, when I ask for just water, she is there in front of me 10 meters away, but she has not responded. Even if I call 10 times, hey, I just need water. Can you give me one glass of water? Can you give me one glass of water? 10 times I said, and she has not responded. And she is listening it, but she is not responding it. Now, horizontal spiritual growth means, oh, the same divinity is behaving like this through her consciousness because of my past karma. I have no right to find fault in her. If I have this application, if I have this realization, when I see things against my expectation, then I grow spiritually horizontal. Horizontal spiritual growth, I have it. This is the most important growth. We need it. Why most important than vertical growth? Because here, the moment I fail here, I started earning sins. Already she is not giving water because of my past sin. And because of past sin, when I go through this situation, I generate another sin. Now what happens? Problem after problem, pain after pain. Now where I am going to end with oneness? No way it is possible. So the horizontal growth is the most important growth. I need it. And that can be achieved only by having inner growth, that vertical growth. But unfortunately, the connecting link is a problem. Okay, I grow vertically, but I'm not growing horizontally. What is it stopping it? Why I am not to grow fast in my horizontal spiritual growth? If you can identify that fundamental factor and address it, then I can have fast horizontal spiritual growth also. Vertical spiritual growth is nothing but practicing meditation, silence, whatever I need to get my frequency lower and lower and lower so that I become one with the divinity. Wow, super. Meditation, it gives me that closeness. My intuitive power is so good. And people see my positivity on my face, absolutely fine. But the horizontal growth is the one which we need to really, really, really work on to grow. Now, what is that single link which makes me blocking my horizontal spiritual? I just want every one of you to think and put in a chat box. What is that stopping my horizontal spiritual growth? Even when I have vertical spiritual growth. Can you share your point?
So can you repeat the question again, sir?
Yeah. My question is, we have vertical spiritual growth by practicing our meditation consistently. Unfortunately, the horizontal spiritual growth, we are not able to grow that faster. The moment my wife is not responding, I lose patience and I do again sinful activities. When I grow vertically, why not horizontally? Single thing which is blocking my spiritual horizontal spiritual growth. What is that single thing which is blocking me in progressing horizontally? That is my question. Vertical growth is there. Horizontally, I am not able to grow fast. What is that blocking? What is that stopping me to grow horizontally? That's my question. Imprints, excellent. Acceptance needed. Ego, excellent. Not realizing the oneness and Maya in life, excellent. We are not accepting the situation, what is happening at the moment, perfect. Lack of knowledge, ego, excellent, superb. Bad imprints, very nice, excellent, excellent. Really, really, the answers what you have given is excellent. Really, uh, the bad imprints. Number one, of course, the saint who is in the mountain hill, he has no expectation. And whatever bad imprint is there, that also will go off. That is why he is able to enjoy the blissful thing. So definitely bad imprint is one of the main reason. Okay, imaginary expectation. Sure. Comparison, perfect. Expectations and ego, excellent. So imprint is really, really, really very important point. Excellent. But that is not the case. Whatever imprints people have, people say that enlightenment can come in 1 minute, finished. Enlightenment can come in 1 minute means people can get the spiritual realization in 1 minute, irrespective of the karma. Of course, you can't become one with the God. For that, imprint have to be out. But the moment you are enlightened, from now on, all the actions will be like a divine thinking, divine actions, so that the old past karma will lose its power slowly. So that is why people say enlightenment can come in fraction of second. Lack of acceptance, constant awareness, all are perfect. Really, really, I appreciate every one of you. So of course, imprint is the reason. Imprint is the reason. No, is the main reason as well. Now, what is it blocking? What is spirituality? Spirituality is the realization of presence of divinity in everyone, everything, everywhere. Simple, in me as well. Now, what is it blocking? Forgetting the divinity. Ego comes in. That's all. The moment ego comes in, I forget the presence of divinity in everything and everyone, in everywhere. So the ego is the single most important culprit in me, which is creating Maya, as somebody said, illusion. Why wife is not giving me water? Simple. Now, the illusion comes because of ego. And the once illusion comes, automatically imprint starts functioning very well. And I create new sins as well. So imprints gets more and more powerful, more and more painful, no horizontal growth. The first thing, the fastest way to have spiritual growth is to kill the ego as much as possible. The killing the ego, that is the forgetting the divinity, is ego, right? Ego means two things, I and mine. Possessiveness, aggressiveness. I means aggressiveness. I want, I ask water, why you are not giving it? And the other one is a mind, aggressiveness, possessiveness. What happens is when things go wrong, I identify myself with that identification of myself. Either it is mine or I say. That is called ego. I have to detach it. I need to have attachment with water, wife, and everything. The moment I keep that attachment, ego is there. The moment I detach myself, ego is gone. Now I am a third person. I am not at all connected to that particular situation, wife or water or whatever it is. Ego. So, forgetting divinity is ego. So, we should not forget it. Ego should not pop up. Now, what is ego? We have seen putting myself at the front. So, what are the what are the manifestations of ego? To make it very, 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 very easy to understand, what is ego? First, finding fault in people, everything, everywhere. She is not listening, she is not bringing water, rice is not good, chapati is hard, whatever I find fault, nothing but ego. Because everything happens perfectly in the world by divine consciousness, through divine consciousness. So how can I find fault? Maharishi says there is no sinners in this world. There is no sinners in this world. Society made them as a sinner. So how can I find fault? And in another poem, Maharishi says, there is no one in this world who has right to find fault. Because everything happens perfectly, right? So finding fault and telling and criticizing about that fault again and again, opposing someone, rejecting someone, arguing with someone, criticizing someone, commanding someone, demanding from someone, ignoring someone, insulting someone, getting irritated, getting angry with someone, getting greedy, if not having a fear or worry or grumbling ourselves or crying, all those are nothing but the manifestation of ego in me. As long as I have ego, or the amount of ego I have, that decides my spiritual growth. If I have only 10% ego, 90% spiritually I am grown, particularly horizontal. Vertical is just by practice, but horizontal, because we are not saint like that saint who is in a mountain. I have family, I have to live here, I have to make money to to get my food. I need a doctor. I can't escape from that. All are required. In that situation, how can I realize the presence of divinity in everyone? Putting myself away. Everything is God. For that, we have to kill the ego. For that, we need to stop all this emotional outburst, criticizing, opposing, rejecting, all whatever I have said. It is the one we need to follow. So, how can I make my spiritual progress faster? Wherever my ego manifests, stop there. Thinking why I have to, what I am. Whether someone will get up tomorrow or not, nobody knows. Why we all have come to this entire earth to make a small drama for 100 years. In that drama, I have a role. Maybe like a king, or maybe like a maid, or maybe like a watchman. Let me play my role. That's it. If we can have that understanding, everything is divine, will by default will manifest in my thinking, words, and actions. And that is very, very important. So what is the practice to get this fast spiritual growth by killing ego? Two things. One is the divine meditation Maharishi has given. We start the meditation from absolute space, and then we come down, and Maharishi ended up in saying that, oh, see, only the divinity has transformed. And whoever I am seeing it, whatever I am seeing it, all or nothing but. Is it difficult? Not at all difficult. Because we know that bangles, rings, whenever I see, oh, it is gold. No, 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 keep it safe. Don't put it on the floor. When we are able to recognize, though ornaments are different appearances, have different appearances, it is made of gold. Similarly, everyone looks different, everyone appearance is different, everyone functioning is different, but all are made of God, and all are functioning because of God, and all are functioning because of my karma. If we can have that understanding, where ego will come in, how I will forget the presence of divinity in everything. So divine meditation and divine worshipping. Our ancestors made divine worshipping to remind us, hey, no, he is the one superior to everybody. You don't command anybody. You don't argue with anybody. You don't find fault in anybody. He is the one. That is why the purpose of divine worship. So divine meditation, divine worship, Turiyatit meditation, dissolving ourselves in the absolute space. All these three practices help us to kill our ego so that we grow horizontally in spirituality. Am I making horizontal spiritual growth right now, today? How much spiritual progress, horizontal spiritual growth I have done today? How can I identify? How can I assess myself? How much horizontal spiritual growth I have achieved after practicing meditation for 20 years? Very important to know, right? Two indicators, very simple. Only two things. That also Maharishi has given in one poem. Number one, how much sin I am doing it every day. Yesterday from morning to night, did I do any sin? How many? Two, how many actions I did to remove the past sin? That's all. Two things. In Tamil, he wrote beautifully, Ini pali puriyen, purindavai kalaindhen. That's it. I will not sin again. I will remove my past sins. I will not sin again. That means from yesterday morning to night, did I give pain? Did I take pain? Giving and taking sin. Both are sin. So did I give pain? Did I take pain? From morning to night yesterday, how many times? One simple assessment. While brushing the teeth, I can identify how many times I was upset and how long I was upset. And how many times I made others to upset and how long they were upset. At least the second question, forget it. I made them upset. Finished. Chapter is closed. And why I was upset and how long I was upset. All these indicators are the first one. The second point, I have to remove my past sins. What I did yesterday morning to night to remove my past sin. Very simple exercise. To remove my past sin, the best technique is helping others, doing good deeds. This punyam, helping how many people I helped, not monetary wise, not money wise, maybe mentally, through advice, my time, my not dropping somebody in airport, whatever way, whether without expectation, did I help my wife? Oh, she has to cook for 10 people. Maybe, please give me onion. I will cut it. I will help you to today. Or the washing machine cloths. Okay, I will dry it. Or I will take the cloths back. Whatever way. Whether how many helps I did from morning to night. Either personally or professionally or in the society, in all ways. So if I can assess these two, I know horizontally how much growth I made in my spiritual growth. These two things are most important to make my spiritual growth faster. We will not be able to do it if I have ego. So first thing, single most thing is ego. Whether I have ego or not, I fail these two. If I fail here, ego is the culprit. So two things. And Maharishi made it these two things as twofold moral principle. The first moral principle, I will not sin again. The second fold moral principle is I will try to the extent possible, I will try to remove the pain of others. Simple. And in fact, the other definition of divine quality, that is ultimate quality I need. The divine quality is love. The love is the first fold moral principle. And compassion is the second fold moral principle. Simple. See how Maharishi has linked everything to us in different ways so that we follow in our life, so that we have fast, horizontal, spiritual growth. So for that, what should I do? I should not give pain, I should not take pain. And to the extent I help others. Now, in order to do that very easily, to make our spiritual growth faster, what should we do? How many people we are associated in everyday life? Maybe in home, 3, 4 children, wife. maybe mother, father, brother, sister. In office, maybe 100 people every day. Whoever I am associated in my life, let us have a simple thought. How can I help them? Just to keep the thought, how can I help my wife? How can I help my child? How can I help my neighbor? How can I help my secretary? How can I help my brother? Keeping this thought alone will bring situation to execute it, so that our good deeds will keep on increasing, the past karma will keep on reducing the severity of its negative effect. The second point. First point, let me not give pain, let me not take pain. That's it. If we can do this, that means we will be able to grow spiritually faster. Actually, the horizontal spiritual growth helps to grow vertically also. The vertical spiritual growth helps a lot to have horizontal spiritual growth. So both are interconnected. We can't separate it. Without one, second is not possible. And if I do second alone, maybe the first is not possible. Not possible in the sense people will do their duty, but that oneness is also important. So both are linked together. And the easiest one is aim for first and keep the second one parallel, in parallel. And Maharishi has, Maharishi talks about his horizontal spiritual growth and vertical spiritual growth. He has written a poem. He says there are two types of meditation. The first one is for inside journey, agattu tavam. Second one is for purattu tavam. The second one is for outer world. So when I keep meditation, Maharishi says there are two kinds of meditation. The one is inner journey, and the other one is outward journey. So what we say, the outward is the horizontal growth or outward growth, inner one is a vertical growth. So it's same. Okay. So Maharishi also has talked about it, and Maharishi also said in different poem that without the first one, the second is not possible. If we have the first one, the second one should come very easily. And we want fast spiritual growth. So really, we need to focus on, of course, if we have been doing meditation, we have to focus here. And if we just started the meditation, let's focus on both. And I have been doing meditation for 10 years, but here, first we have to focus here now. How can I improve my horizontal spiritual growth? So let me conclude by saying here, first, again, just to recall whatever we discussed first, we need to have spiritual growth day by day, so that we live a blissful life. Whatever I think it should happen it. Two, what I should be able to spread, I generate my positive vibration, and because of that positive vibration, I am able to shed light on others as well, so that my past karma effect is reduced. So I act like a temple of consciousness, right? And that is the best asset we can give to our children. So the spiritual growth is important and it is must. Spirituality is nothing but seeing the presence of divinity in me, in others, in everyone. For that, there are two types: vertical growth. I just travel inside to become one with the divinity. And but since we are living in this earth materialistic world, we need to grow horizontally. So the horizontal spiritual growth is not required for that saint, but for us it is required. Horizontal spiritual growth is nothing but when things are not as per my expectation, whether am I realizing the presence of divinity in him or her. That's it. For that, ego is the single most culprit which keeps us forgetting the divinity in others. If ego is not there, I will do sin again, and I will not remove the pain of others. That means the good deeds, I will not do it. So to grow faster, I will not sin again. I will remove the past sins. That's all. If these two things, if we can do it, we grow horizontally. In order to do that, we have to keep our mind frequency low. We also have to have a thought, how can I help others? And this divine meditation and Turiyatit meditation. All these will definitely help us to grow fast. And let me conclude by saying spiritual growth or spiritual development is not an accomplishment, but a way of life. From morning to night, every minute, am I showing my spiritual growth in my thinking, speaking, and doing? So, spiritual growth doesn't happen when we are meditating. It happens when the reality is different from my expectation. This is where we need to realize oneness and show our love and compassion to all others. Like a tree. The tree doesn't care whether the person who is standing under me is a murderer, is a killer, or a saint. Doesn't matter. It keeps doing its duty. So we have to be like that. So with this, I conclude today's lecture. Thank you for patiently listening and thank you for participating in that question. Great. Thank you so much. Be blessed by the divine.